lay down. But I was in so much pain. I didn't want to lay on the couch. I wanted to be in my bed. So I was like, yeah, I gotta. So we undressed me and laid me down for like 40 minutes. By this point, we couldn't even stay home for the full hour. That's how bad I was hurting. So my husband went ahead and drove me back to the hospital. By that point, I was at 5 centimeters. So I was in that room, that the first room, even when you have false contractions that they monitor you in. I was in that room, and then when they checked me, it was like, oh yeah, she's 5 centimeters. They put me in another room, which I was annoyed because I'm in all this pain. Now my contractions are seconds apart. So I'm always hurting. They got that baby monitor thing on my belly and people keep checking my temperature, and I was really, really exhausted. And so they put me in this room where the lights are really, really dim. The bed was really, really comfortable. And I got to stay there, and I don't know why they put me there, but they only held me there for like 30, 40 minutes. And I was really annoyed because it was a nice relaxing setting, and then they took me from that and then brought me to the delivery room because at that point I was ready to go. Now I wanted an epidural. They couldn't give me an epidural. Scariest moment of my life. I didn't even experience this with my first baby. He felt like he was coming out my bottom, and that was so scary. That's when they knew, oh God, she needs to hurry and get checked. Get settled into the operating room. And I was in so much pain. I was cussing my husband out. I was cussing the doctors out, and I was being mean to the nurse. And I was like, just go. And then it was so funny because I was like, no, stay, don't leave me. And she was so nice. She was a civilian. She totally understood. I didn't want her to leave my side, and I didn't want my husband to leave my side, but I was being so mean to him, but I couldn't help it. You're in all this pain. And then she was looking at my nails. Oh, that's pretty. Is that shellac? And it kind of broke the ice a little bit. But I was so annoyed because the anesthesiologist couldn't get the needle in my back. And it just so happens at that time I was working at my son's middle school, and because it's a military base, everybody knows everybody. And so he was trying to make small talk with me like, hey, do you know my son? He's the only flute player in the band. I'm like, just get that needle in my back. And he was like, hunched like Halloween cat. And I'm like, what the hell? And so it got to a point where I just had to do some good old fashioned begging. That baby was coming, and like I said, it felt like he was coming out my bottom. But that, from what I know now, is him actually dropping. Like, you drop when you're, in your third trimester, but it's a different kind of drop. He's actually dropping down into the birth canal. I was able to feel that because I hadn't received any anesthesia at that point. With my oldest son, by the time I got to the hospital, they had already given me anesthesia, so I didn't feel all that. But this one, I felt it all. So, of course, like 5 or 6 pushes later, baby Elijah comes. So, anyway, I just want to give you guys that background information so you can kind of know what to expect. Because the hottest topic for pregnant women is, are these real contractions? Are these Braxton Hicks contractions? So anyway, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, what you girls really, really, really need to know, and that's packing your hospital bag. Now, people are like, you had your bag packed since when? You know what? Yeah, I had my bag packed since I was about 32 weeks. I did. You know why? Because I'm a planner, and because I like to have everything organized and ready to go. I'm like that with my house. It hasn't even been like, nobody's been really sick around here, but guess what? Around August, September, I stocked up on cold and flu stuff. I keep Pedialyte in my house. I keep stomach medicines. You just never know when emergency is going to happen. You never know what freaky thing is going to happen, or when your baby's going to say, you know what, I'm getting tired of being in this stomach. I'm ready to come out. You just never know. And you really don't want to leave your husband to gathering up your things. Trust me, men, they don't know what to do. So anyway, if you have it packed early, fine. So what I've done was I gathered some things. I don't have all my stuff, like especially with my makeup, I don't have all my good stuff per se. I just have things that I have double of, or things that I'm not using right now that I'm packing in my bag. There are some things that I have bought that are new, so that I don't have to use stuff that I use on a normal daily basis. Now, don't